Hello, guys. This is Minority Reports. I'm Walter.
And I'm Chidozie.
We live in a community, a society that thrives on shaming people, especially in situations that we don't want, we refuse to be comfortable with. There's slut shaming, shaming women, there's shaming men who moisturize, apparently, and
That's the thing.
there's shaming, bottom shaming, which is what we want to talk about. This is applicable to sex in the gay community.
Yeah.
There is
Homosexuality 101. Let's do
yes.
the session.
We want to run. I mean, for those of you viewers who are not part of the gay community and who do not know what it means to, be a bottom and suffer shame for it, we have gay men who are sexually tops and sexually bottoms and sexually many other things in between. What are you looking out for? The point is, these are sexual roles.
Yeah.
The
bottom is the receptive partner.
Yeah, the
Naked
person who's
who takes
receptive,
dick.
and the person who every other person would like to call the woman in the relationship. That is a very, very, very irritating terminology, or irritating way to look at it. But in seeing the top as the man in the relationship and the bottom as the woman in the relationship, there tends to be this adoption of the shame that women experience in heterosexual relationships, in the gay relationships, and that is what we want to talk about. This shame.
There's a lot to unpack here, but I think largely that
there's a tendency in LGBT relationships for the receptive partner. The partner, every other thing I want to use to qualify it is just rampant with it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
understand what you mean.
let me say the milder partner.
It still doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
But yeah.
But here's the thing. When in a heterosexual relationship, there is the man and there's the woman, and now the entire world, because of this normalization of what it means to be heterosexual in the society, it tends to force that conditioning, this heteronormativity on everything else that it's not supposed to be affected by it, and that includes homosexual relationships. In imbibing the culture of the heterosexual relationship, we take in the good and the very incredibly bad, including this shame that comes from being the lesser parts of the relationship.
I think it's a very layered conversation, but I think bottoming gets such a bad rep for many reasons, and one of it has to do with fuckability being within the context of the patriarchy, the definitive feature of femininity. Masculinity is what is revered as the standard, as what is aspirational.
But
and
see, that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing, because even there are some relationships, some gay relationships where both the top and bottom are masculine.
I did
Like
say this is a layered conversation. This is one of what I'm talking about right now is like one of the aspects of this thing. I mean, it's not just one thing.
What I'm saying, even
things.
then, even with the fact that they are both masculine, presenting people, you still get that tendency to shame,
to impute femininity on the person who's receptive, which is of course this is so it's then within the concept of the patriarchy, masculinity is what is aspiration, then femininity is like its polar opposites. So anything that has to do with, and this is not something that started today, it goes back to ancient Roman and Greek traditions.
True.
So back then when homosexuality was a bit, well, not necessarily accepted, but it was a bit more. It was qualified. There was a qualification. It was for the acceptance. So
there's a tendency where they had very strict they had strict, it was like an institutionalized way of looking at who is dominant and who is not, who's submissive.
Yes,
You had to
because-
look a certain way. I think this the person who's the receptive partner had to be twinkish, young.
Yeah,
Not
that was
bearded,
good,
doesn't have
but
beards.
mostly the
Yeah.
person had to be a slave. The receptive partner was, typically a slave because as a Roman citizen or whatever, and you, bottom, you take dick, then the cost of that is you will lose your citizenship, which is like one of the biggest punishments within the context of that. So it goes down to citizenship because, and also this idea of masculinity as this silly notion of masculinity being closely associated with plunder and all of that. Because if you really look at the rhetoric around sex, a lot of it has to do with conquering.
Yes. I also remember sometime on Twitter where somebody said something, a conversation between gay men, and somebody said something about how he wants to fuck someone. And somebody commented with in the Twitter, I was like, I'm sorry, aren't you bottom? And I was like, yes. I was like, yeah, so why are you saying you want to fuck someone? When is this, aren't you supposed to be saying someone you're looking for someone to come and fuck you? And I'm thinking, I'm sorry, it's the fucking it's not the doing, it doesn't apply to who's doing who. It is
because
it's sex, and sex is
it's supposed to be like something that's give and take. It's a mutual thing, but the way we talk about sex generally is as though we talk about it in terms, even we did stuff about when we try to look for the language, dominance, passive, all of that. It's like and when it comes right down to the receptive partner, be it a woman or a man or whatever, being the implication being that there's no sexual agency on their parts. You are just there, and this is being done to you. You're the one who is being fucked, that sort of stuff. So there's a culture of shame, crafted around femininity and female sexuality, and that then comes to play out in this because there's equivalency being made between being the receptive partner and in gay relationship with being with that same sort of shape that is typical within the concept of patriarchy of female sexuality,
and everything that comes, all that baggage that comes with female sexuality is transported into, just by your mere identification as the receiving partner, you sort of bring all that baggage into this, even with lesbian and gay relationships. The same thing, the whole you don't get to you're not sort of like, you're not the decision making partner in the relationship. You're the one who speaks second. You're the one who everything.
And I mean, it's interesting how when people
you're expected to be taken care of, like things like that. It just is really, and it's ridiculous. And it's just, I don't know what to say.
It's interesting when there are, there's the question of somebody being a bottom, there the sort of expectations you find that people have. That person is feminine. There's certain
it's instant.
Yes, and when
it's very instant.
And when people see somebody who doesn't check the
All this
stereotype and then is a bottom, it's like, oh, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That sort of thing. So a lot of it has to. It's a very layered conversation, but at the heart of it, I think the main thing is this idea of this toxic notion of masculinity and femininity.
There's always this instance. There's this image of a bottom that he has to be skinny and feminine,
Twink, basically,
and a certain way. These are stereotypes that people in marginalized communities, in marginalized societies, shouldn't push the stereotypes that come from being conditioned from, the heteronormative culture. We should, when I suppose it's a way to help put things in perspective. You put things in neat little boxes so that it helps you navigate through your community. But
So yeah, the entire thing about but like I was saying, the entire thing about bottom shaming, I think at the heart of it, it is rooted in this really toxic notions about masculinity and its relationship with femininity. Masculinity is something to aspire to, and femininity is the exact opposite. And to then have people who shouldn't even fall within those very problematic notions, internalize it and play it out within. So I think largely it comes from a place of a lack of imagination.
yeah, and it's just sex, really. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Just sex. Like, can we do it, and then we'll get out of the bedroom, we continue with our lives as,
No.
whole human beings.
I mean, to even say it's just sex.
No, the point is some people take the things you enjoy, or the roles you play as a sexual person, to make it about who you are.
But it forms a part. I mean,
No.
the things you like. You cannot divorce the things you like.
No, yes,
generally
I get that.
Yes,
No.
but the point is, whatever you like, you shouldn't even be shamed for it. Whether this. There's something, for me personally, there's something really icky about wanting to divorce what happens in the bedroom. For if you are yes, you maybe outside in your day's job, you're a power broker and all that, and then you like to be dominated in the bedroom. Yes, those are like two different, but if you are going to want to come to a truer picture of your life, all of those things have to come to play. So all those things do matter, but the point is, nobody should be shamed for whatever at all.
That's
Whether
the point
you
I'm
like,
making.
yeah,
but because wait, no,
but
yeah, that's actually
yes,
what I'm
yes.
saying.
But I just want to make a point.
Yeah, because
it's not just sex.
no,
saying it's just
I guess
sex.
okay, yes, I guess. I suppose. No, the point I'm trying to make is when you do whatever it is you do in the bedroom, and you come out of the bedroom, and somebody who knows what it is, who knows your preferences in the bedroom, attempts to use that to define you outside the bedroom again. Okay, you were receptive in the bedroom, so therefore we should lead a life where I dominate you.
They're stupid.
Exactly.
They're stupid.
I'm
Incredibly
saying
stupid.
like that was just sex. Can we not make that about me and you interacting beyond the bedroom? You get? That's I'm not saying, of course, everything everyone wants or desires or indulges in, it makes up just small parts of who the person is as a
Yes.
whole. But when he is that, you do not use whatever it is you've learned about one aspect of his life to discriminate or to make him feel less.
Yes, okay, I guess it's the point. Like you don't use one aspect, one little piece of what you know about this person to then go on a frolic of your own to define this person, or come up with random silly expectations.
Entirety of him. Yeah,
We should do better.
there we go.
God,
Do better.
the entire thing is just really ridiculous. And here's it's also, for me also, I think it's also really telling, because a lot of people like to think that bottom shaming isn't a thing. And you have people, there are always people who want to deny that this is not a thing, or that they don't bottom shame. But in the same breath, these people, it's always interesting to me the way people vehemently abhor being a bottom. Like, I can't even imagine it, and blah 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 blah. I'm a top, strictly top, and all of that. And then even people who would say, who want to even play the, I'm open-minded, they want to signal open-mindedness. I've tried before then and I realized it's not for me. But okay, you realize it's not for you, but the way they hammer on it's not being for them, it's like something else is going on here.
Reacting to that.
Yes, and you don't exactly, and you don't hear people. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never heard anybody vehemently like, I'm not a top. No, I have tried.
No,
it's never for me.
exactly.
Nobody does that.
Get
So-
offended. Or get offended for being mistaken to be a top.
Exactly. Nobody gets offended for that. So it's, I mean, we everyone needs to be better. So you need to be honest about what the problems are to get past.
It's all boil. It's all It's all boiled down to this whole point about masculinity being something to aspire to and femininity being
toxic
something
masculinity being something to aspire to. Because when it comes to reality, what is masculinity? it's the idea of masculinity being something rigid and fixed is just ridiculous. Everybody, it's to you whatever it can be to you. Masculinity for some people is wearing skirts. Masculinity for some people is wearing kimonos. Masculinity for some people is wearing mascara. Masculinity for some people is not having their bath 362 days out of the 365 and rolling in dirt morning to night. So I mean, there is no
masculinity, the way society defines it,
is really linear and limiting
and just wrong. Yeah.
So that is our show for today. Until we come here next time, I'm Chidozie.
On water.
Bye.